Hi everyone, my name is Shantasia. Welcome to my channel. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a tag. I am doing the Defying Writer Stereotypes tag, and I want to thank Eileen Nessman for tagging me. I am super excited about this. I think there's like 2 videos I have on my channel where I talk about stereotypes. So this is right up my alley. So we're gonna jump right in. So the first question is, what are 3 to 5 writer stereotypes that do not apply to you, and why? I suppose my first one would have to be that I am not an alcoholic and I am not a drug addict. I do enjoy a wine cooler now and then, or making a mixed drink at my house, but in general I really don't drink that much, and I've never been into drugs. I know that a lot of people ask if they would be a more productive writer or would be able to access parts of their mind for their storytelling, like some of the great authors have with drug use and drinking and all that, but that's not really something that I feel is necessary, so I just don't do either one of those things. Number 2, I do not work on my story at coffee shops. I don't even work on my story at my desk half the time. I'm usually on the couch or in bed. I like to be comfortable. Sometimes I like to go outside. I don't know. I write everywhere, but I cannot say that I have ever written in a coffee shop. I've tried it a couple times, but it's very distracting, so I just don't even try it anymore. Number 3, I do not kill people I am angry with in my stories. I think this is a funny meme and it's something to laugh at, but I have never done that. I've never written anybody that I know into my stories. I think that's kind of dangerous because, I don't know, you don't want to get in trouble for writing too much about somebody. Plus, sometimes I think if you write based off of real people, they can kind of seem flat because you don't really know what they're thinking, and if you're trying to get into their head, you're really not going to do it right. So I just stick to imaginary people. Number 4, I cannot write any genre, nor can I do any type of technical writing. I'm really good at writing letters and things like that, like I've had in my jobs in the past where I've had to write letters to customers. I'm very good at communicating, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I am extremely wonderful at all types of writing. I'm definitely not very good at like nonfiction type writing where you're trying to express an idea or a thought to somebody. It's something I would like to do. I do have a few nonfiction projects I'd like to work on someday, but I feel like those would be very difficult for me to write, and I would have to concentrate quite a bit on it. Probably would take me a few years, but no, writers cannot write anything. They usually have their strengths, their genres that they like, and they kind of stick to that. And sometimes we challenge ourselves and we jump out of the box and we experience something new, but it still doesn't mean that we can write everything. I could not write a screenplay. It makes no sense to me. So the second question is, what part of the writing process is hardest for you? Finishing the stupid book. I'll just leave that right there. I have been working on a series that has been going on forever, probably since I was in my 20s, so about 15 years. And that is all I'm going to say about that. Do you ever feel imposter syndrome as a writer? What about as an author tuber? I definitely have been feeling imposter syndrome. I think that is part of the reason I was considering leaving AuthorTube recently, was not only just some of the things that I've been seeing on AuthorTube that were kind of making me unhappy, but also because I don't know that I necessarily have anything to offer, and I'm not really sure how to go about sharing what I really do want to share, but never seems to come out right on the camera. So yes, I do experience imposter syndrome as an AuthorTuber. And I do feel imposter syndrome as a writer. Most recently with this short story that I'm working on, I agreed to do the project, and seriously within 20 minutes after saying, yes, I can do this, and yes, the deadline's not a problem, let's just go for it, I started freaking out. And the thoughts that were going through my head were like, I can't write with these people. These are all extremely, not well known, but they are known authors, and I'm going to be amongst them, and I've never written a short story. Who do you think you are? Oh my word, it's going to be a mess. They're going to throw you right out of the anthology, and they're going to hate your story, and it's just going to be terrible, and then you'll never want to write again. So yes, I think at some stage of the game, we all feel imposter syndrome. As a young writer, I never felt that way. I was just so determined to be a writer that I didn't really care what other people were doing. But now that I'm getting more out there and building an author platform and spending more time around other authors and loving their content and wanting to emulate some of my favorite author tubers and writers that I'm seeing on the social media platforms, you definitely start to feel a little uncomfortable and insecure, especially as a newbie, as you're trying to learn how to express what you want to express and trying to do it in a unique way when it's so saturated. So yeah, it's an everyday battle. Every time I film a video, every time I edit a video, every time I upload it, I'm just like, what are you doing? Do you generally receive support or skepticism about your writing? I want to say that for the most part, it's skepticism. I had a hard time in September when I was releasing Scraps of Love, and in August too, when I was preparing to, and as I was telling people that, yes, I have a book coming out at the end of September. I really was not prepared for the level of negativity that I got from the people that I know. My sister is incredibly supportive. My mother was supportive. There were people that were supportive and very excited for me, but there were a lot of people that were seriously shocked that I was even capable of publishing a book or even putting two words together. So that was kind of difficult to deal with because I've always felt pretty confident as a poet. I think it was more out of youthful ignorance and arrogance maybe, because now I look at my poetry book and I don't regret putting it out and I don't regret sharing it because it was mostly for me. But at the same time, I know that it's not the best works out there. And even though that wasn't the intention of me releasing it, you still feel it, you know? So yeah, lots of skepticism. But I do receive support. My sister has always supported my writing. My mom has gone back and forth on it. In my youth, she did not support my writing. It was kind of like a phase that she was hoping I would grow out of or thought I would grow out of. I'm not really sure. So there was some negative things that happened when I was a teenager that still kind of affect me when I'm writing. But I don't know. I feel like you're not going to be supported 100% in anything that you do. It's really about finding the people that will support you and trying to learn to get the positive, not to be swallowed up by all the negative, because negative always seems bigger and it always seems more relevant for some reason. And it's just a process of learning how to accept the fact that not everyone's going to love you. Not everyone who loves you is going to like what you're doing. And you just have to be who you are and try your best and go for your own path, because you only have one life and you have your passions and you have the things that interest you, and it's a waste of time to try to be or do anything else. You might as well just embrace it. What is one piece of advice that you would like to give to new writers? Realize that the product that you are holding in your hand and those books that are so inspiring to you are not what they started as. Everything that is written starts out ugly. Some of us write cleaner manuscripts from the first draft than others. And there's no right or wrong way. A first draft is meant to be ugly and messy and disgusting. And it is meant to be that way because it's from those things that new, brilliant ideas grow. And it's important to be able to let yourself just let go and let yourself learn from the writing process, because that really is what it is. You're going to be learning every single thing that you work on, every project, every book that you publish, every poem that you write, whatever it is that you're working on, you're going to learn something from it, and you're going to learn either a new process or a new way of sharing it or something. There's always something to learn. So don't ever think that we all have it together. Just because authors are published and they're making millions of dollars, if they're like, I don't know, Stephanie Meyer and all those other ones that have made a ton of money from their series or their books just out of nowhere, they still worked hard. And just because we don't see that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. And we all have amazing stories to tell, and the world needs our stories. So just don't give up. Just keep writing and keep on pushing through it, even if you feel that it's stupid. Just work on it, because that first draft, oh my word, I can't tell you how many drafts that I have had, and they've all grown and they're all so different from that first draft, and I'm so glad that I did not stop. So that is the Defying Writer Stereotypes tag. Again, I want to thank Eileen Nessman for tagging me. If you'd like to, you can go check out her awesome channel. I'll leave the link in the description box below. And I will also leave the questions down below so that you can be tagged as well. So if you are seeing this, I am tagging you. If you do this tag, please leave me a comment so I can come check it out and get to know you a little bit better. But for now, I will see you on Sunday for my weekly writing wrap up, and I hope you have a wonderful day.